I'm hearing suppression of voice. You know, sometimes that's something that can come through not only from childhood and wounds over this lifetime, but from past lifetimes, memories from past lifetimes as well. It's the kind of thing that's really hard to explain. When you don't understand it yourself, but even if you do, it's something that's really personal to you. Like finding your voice again is what I'm getting. Okay. The throat chakra. Okay. Colour blue might resonate with you. Throat chakra is actually masculine energy. However, there is definitely an imbalance in the throat chakra right now. There is this energy where the throat and the sacral are very connected. Okay, and the sacral chakra is feminine energy. Finding that balance back within. It all starts from the root up, if we're talking chakras. Okay, so clearing through, especially with the sacral, that's a lot of kind of trauma, even childhood trauma, that it gets stored in that chakra point. Okay, so there's this kind of balance moving forwards is what you desire. There could be something to do with family here, that someone's feeling this suppression of their voice from. Yeah, it's finding your independence. It truly is. That's what's going to help you to find this voice. Other people's values are theirs, right? But your truth is from your heart space. Okay, there's a need to have compassion for yourself as you journey through this. It could be that somebody wants to speak their truth to somebody else as well. Here it's coming through. Okay, it's like balancing your cup. Wow, we've got the Queen of Cups, Two of Cups, and the Nine of Cups, right? But there's a release of emotion too coming in. Okay, I think that's something to do with like this grieving process as well. And grieving is like many different things. It includes past versions of yourself. It includes the trauma that little you went through. Even if it is past life, sometimes you don't even realize that's what's happening. It's just these energetic shifts that are taking place within you, emotional shifts that span lifetimes, truly. There's definitely been a pause here for someone very long, too long. They've been stuck in this energy. But I also feel like there's physical situations. So if it's your physical environment, whatever it is. And I do feel like, again, family stresses are really coming through, evidently here. Okay. Once you regain that independence and you call back your power, and also needing to recognize your worth, right? Away from whoever, especially whether it's family ties or whatever it is that has suppressed your voice, more importantly. And when I say your voice, that's comes from your heart's truth, not aggression and, dismissive of other people, whatever it is, right? Truly from that heart space, from that healed space, not from a wounded space, right? No one's ever fully healed, remember that, right? But you know what I'm saying. That once you find that, the more you're going to grow into who and what you are, and that's what's going to be created in your reality. You've got the 9 and 10 of Pentacles here, so that's abundant. But when it comes to this energy that someone wants to move towards, they're not seeing their worth at all, because I think they might have walked away from whatever this alignment was, and this alignment was very much of the soul. Okay, very soul alignment. Yeah, look at this, the Empress with the 9 of Cups. Like she's in her power. I've just had an abundant destiny as well, specifically. Whew, a lot of energy. Whoever that is, I have a lot of energy. It's really beautiful, actually, because I feel like this is someone who doesn't only work on their own themselves. It's like they help other people have their own wishes come true as well, it's like an energy that cares a lot. Okay, but be mindful that you don't care over giving. I think I do think that's something that this energy has learned, not to be overgiving. That's beautiful. So back to this imbalanced energy of, someone really wants to make a decision from their heart space to take these actions, but it all comes from, let's just find out. Yeah, it all comes from being in that energy of cultivating that environment around, which means that you can't stay in that headspace of those ideals that aren't actually yours. Yeah, there's definitely been a transformation here, truly. Someone's had gained strength, or they will be gaining strength from whatever they're moving away from, including this energy of being treated less than, not feeling worthy. But as a result, it awoke you to how worthy you truly are within, because you had to then give that to yourself. Not about external validation, whether it's family, friends, lovers, whatever. This is about you recognizing the absolute abundance of your heart space, the divine love that exists within you. That's really going to awaken you to your true path, your true purpose. And it has nothing to do with anyone else, you know, being hurt or being treated any less than. It's really about you zoning in on yourself now. So that this imbalance of emotion, this backwards and forwards juggling, that juggling energy can be cleared through. Yeah, so you're no longer umming and ahhing about making the decision from your heart space. Okay. Definitely someone's had some kind of destruction of self is what I'm hearing. This layer of themselves that they're truly working on. Okay. They're truly working on, yeah, definitely. Oh my God, Dark Knight of the Soul, 10 of Swords and the 10 of Wands. It's preparing them to make a decision towards this new beginning that is fueled from the heart space, that true heart now. Okay. They're working on whatever it is that's been driving them this entire time, and I don't think that it's been surfaced. It's finally surfacing. They're finally seeing they had some kind of awakening. I think it's just not feeling, you know how I said they're not feeling worthy of who they want to move towards? It's that kind of awakening. They're really understanding what that actually, the truth of that is, and actually how they might have been a part of this kind of, it's almost like they might have walked away from this other energy. Ooh. Oh yeah, there was a karmic third party energy here, and that's the reason they walked away. So they were feeding their wounds drastically. And this is something that's the stuckness that they were cycling through. That's where that imbalance was. Yeah, oh my God, stuckness. And just as I said, that 8 of Swords has come through. Oh, and the Devil. Oh, this is someone who's had addictions. They've fought inner battles. That's why they're external. They've never been able to make that decision because they're still, I'm hearing recovery and addiction. Rehab even has come through as well. And in order for them to truly make a decision, which they've not been able to do moving forwards, not when it comes to this, I feel like it's their heart that's been calling them and they've just been pulled back from their wounds. And you know what? It feels like they were shown their own soul. A mirror, specifically hearing mirror. So this could be a mirrored connection they want to move towards that they walked away from in the past. Okay? And when you walk away from a mirrored connection, you know what you're doing. You're walking away from yourself. It has nothing to do with the other person. You know, they've got to work on themselves, yes. But they're showing you your soul. And you're going towards a wounded kind of, or not you, but whoever this is, are going towards a wounded karmic energy. But that's where they were going to learn their karmic lessons. Not from this Empress. She's there like, hello, join me in your abundant self, your divine self. That's what I mean by abundant, your divine self, right? Your inner alignment, your truth, listening to your divine love, your divine truth that's within you, finding that. That is not what someone was operating from. Tower, 10 of Swords, 10 of Wands, it led to destruction externally and internally. And my God, have they been healing through that and trying to understand this? I feel like someone else might be able to clearly see this. Not everyone, but especially this Empress energy, I feel like. But they themselves haven't. And it all comes back to that rooted energy of this family that was coming through, that they were stuck in, that was coming through at the beginning of this reading, okay? So I feel like this suppression of voice is coming from somebody feeding the needs of others before themselves, right? I'm not even sure they've realised this. So I think this is what they're coming into their understanding of. No longer putting the needs of those who don't actually see their worth, who have taken for granted their worth, right? Why? Because they themselves haven't understood this. Hold your vision. Fixed moon. So it could be a fixed sign, maybe. Adjustments are required. Yeah, they're understanding this. They're understanding why their decisions have led to the same place. A win-win outcome. So they want to move forwards, and within that there's more of a win-win outcome, right? Again, with that 2 of Cups that came out, it's like the balancing of 2 cups. First you balance your own cup within you, then you can come together and balance both of your cups together, right? Look at the bigger picture. There are always much more, you know, that karmic energy was coming through. That does span lifetimes. Looking at the bigger picture is seeing things not just with the minute detail, pedantic kind of energy. It's more like, okay, let's just step back for a moment. That's a full moon in Sagittarius, and you know what we've got tomorrow? I think it is full moon in Sagittarius. Okay, very important energy. This is happening, playing real time. Or that energy could resonate with you as well if you're not watching this at that time. A wider view I'm seeing. Okay. Balance spirituality and practicality. Yeah, this is someone who understands their internal world better when it's almost like they disconnect from their external so they can come back to themselves, and then they need to, without, it's like they're doing it in two separate worlds, but they need to merge this into one now, not just return back to that physical reality as it was whilst they're having these spiritual awakenings and realizations. Now you need to kind of weave that into your actual physical life. Okay, you are good enough. Confirmation, you are good enough. Again, you're very close to achieving goals. Have faith in your dreams. Okay, so again, that energy they want to move towards, that more abundant energy where they can just flow and, you know, be more in their creative energy as well, is what I'm hearing. Yeah, more healthier sacral and throat, more of that healthier balance, which will help them feel they'll understand their worth way more. The end of a tough cycle approaches. Cancer season is so important for this new stable beginning that's coming through. Okay, bring love into the situation. Again, that's self-love as well, right? But you've got to, when you hold that compassion for those outside of you who are still finding their voice, which isn't easy, when it's been masked, when it's been shamed, shunned, humiliated, whatever it is, again, across lifetimes, even in this lifetime, especially when you're super tiny, like a really young age, that has massive impact for the rest of your life, right? That healing is deep. Which is why, you know, preventing that with the beautiful children that are around us is so important. Treating them with that true love, right? And protection and care. Release your ex. Massive. Clearing that energy. Releasing your ex. My gosh. It's safe for you to love. Yeah, because whatever you've been through, whoever this energy has been through, certainly, they've really questioned stability, true love at the bottom of the deck. The stability and the safety of love, but that's because they weren't operating from the stability and safety of self-love to begin with. You can't control other people outside of you, no matter who they are. It's not your job to, but you can have some kind of management of your own process of reaction, your responses, right? It doesn't mean avoid your triggers, it means process and accept your emotions as they are and face them with that beautiful love, because you're worthy of it. When you operate from divine love and divine truth, you really do engage with that divine spark that's within you. And whatever other people do, that's on them, truly. Wanted to come out, true love. Feels like a divine connection that someone could be moving towards, okay? Chemistry, magnetic pull. Don't be led by I know I just said divine spark, but that's not what I mean by when I say spark. Talk about the sacral chakra, right? That can sometimes be imbalanced, which means that someone's sometimes led by that lusty energy, that like addictive, attaching energy, which can be romanticized sometimes. But when it comes to that stable love, I think that's what someone's known in the past with those exes of an then had to release. That's been those karmic cycles. Okay, now to find that stability and safety within true love, which can still have like that fire and passion, but that comes with creating that stable, safe foundation to begin with, right? Engagement. Love life is ascending to high level of commitment. Okay. Comes with freeing yourself, taking back control of your life. All those external binds. I'm seeing literally cords, like just binds around somebody, almost like they're like in a spider web or something. This is what they're freeing themselves of, just as I've said that. Why codependency? That needs to be healed. Can't be brought into this. But I think somebody knows that. That's why they're really like reflecting on where this is coming from, what are the roots, you know, including in their family trust. From when they were younger, okay. Let's just see what. Oh my God. Can we be any more clearer? Love yourself first. It's not easy, truly, especially when you've lived a life where you've made decisions that might have been from more of a self-fulfilling prophecy, a vicious cycle, telling yourself the same thing about yourself. Now it's like a massive mindset reshift, right? Actually, you are worthy. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. More you respect yourself, which means spiritual hygiene. You're mindful of who and what accesses your energy, your being in any way, shape or form. The people, the sex, the food, etc., etc., voices, things, and so on. You're mindful of that, which allows you to be in a space where you can give back from your heart because you're more connected to your heart. Retreat energy, there's a disconnection that we mentioned before, but it's like someone needs to disconnect to reconnect to themselves, right? Which is then allowing them to reconnect to actually what they do want to make that effort towards. Forgiving and learning, forgiving your parents, your family, it's coming through heavy there. Freeing yourself from whatever it is that kept you in those binds for so long. making the effort worth waiting for, okay? Oh, reconciliation. Interesting. So that's why worth waiting for, and that forgiving and learning could actually be towards this connection as well. So somebody mentioned they walked away because they walked towards this kind of karmic energy. What you need to remember there is they walked away because they weren't going to fulfill what they needed to in that divine connection while they still had these karmic ways, karmic attachments and wounds, right? Knowing your worth is a two-way thing. Be like, okay, release. Remember, I've said this before, you have to release people to find their wings and find their way back home. Truly, that doesn't mean you stay stuck there. It means you find yours too. You recognize you're leveling up even more too. And we've got the Empress here. I mean, gosh, you know, you have it within you to, when you tap into that true heart, that you learn what your divine purpose is and you act accordingly, truly devote yourself to your best, most, I feel like I want to say healthy self as well there for some reason. The better for you. Energy healing work, yeah. See that cleansing and clearing of that energy. That can stay attached to you. That's why it's important to heal, to clear through that energy. There's lots of different ways to clear that energy, okay? Believe and trust. And be mindful of who and what you go to. These have got to be trustworthy sources. Focus on divine and perfect health. Confirmation, that's why it's coming through. This is heavy for somebody focusing on their health right now. It could be both of you. It's kind of like taking the actions that are supporting you, yeah, not against you, that you then have to heal from, right? And I think that's why that freeing yourself as well. So you're freeing yourself from habits, from patterns, right? Which again is cyclic, truly. The person you're asking about is trustworthy. We love this card, in case you haven't heard that already from me. Sense of humour. That's that Sagittarius energy that was coming, like step back, seeing things from a big picture. You have that sense of humour. You think, you can almost like laugh about it, but not like not taking it seriously, but just allowing yourself to be more joyful, more light-hearted in your energy. And that comes with energy healing work. Clearing through that energy so you can feel that joy again, okay? Believe and trust again. Suppression of voice really comes, that healing comes with you being true to yourself first and foremost, being truthful to you, right? And again, be mindful, you know, the healed aspect of this energy is speaking from that heart space, that love, right? Having the confidence to do so. That's what comes first. It's that internal. Be true to you. The more you're honest with yourself, the more you can be honest with everything and everyone outside of you. There's this energy of authenticity. Forgive yourself, you've done nothing wrong. Okay? Exploring your options. I feel like this is energy of exploring your options and how to move forwards now. I think that you might have more options open to you than you realise. Leaning on God and the angels for support, okay? And I think that's going to be... I think there's almost, I've heard proving your trust, maybe loyalty or something, detaching from the situation. Yeah, don't allow yourself to be so wound up and caught up in this energy that you're now clearing from. Whether it's the ex, the family, all of these things that were keeping you bound, right? Protecting yourself. This is your health as well. Protecting yourself. Even if previously you've not treated yourself with the most love and the most care and gentleness, it's about knowing that actually that was a learning cycle for you. Eternal love and make a commitment were there. That was a learning cycle that you needed to go through. So it's about, okay, how can I take the best out of that situation now, moving forward? Okay, a favourable outcome. So the more you're clearing through this beautiful energy, that's come out with the person you're asking about is trustworthy as well. And I feel like the way you're making the decision to that way more in alignment with your purpose, with your happiness, with your health, and that's really allowing you to move forwards now, like in a beautiful way. Let go of fear now, and then we've got romance angels are helping you as well. Okay, so there's a lot of work going on right now, okay, but it feels like it requires your faith and learning how to trust yourself so you can trust your decisions as you do this moving forwards now, okay, including whatever happens that isn't in your control. There's this energy of what are you allowing yourself to stay stuck in, because it feels like the most comforting energy, the known energy, the energy that you're used to, right? But it's keeping you quiet and it's suppressing like your truth right now, and it's really about freeing yourself from that Okay, so there's this beautiful energy of understanding that your circumstances can change and it doesn't have to be attached to anyone or anything outside of you. It's all about actually, how do I want to create my inner world more than anything? Okay, so that it can be reflected on the outside, because right about now, whatever's truly happening in your heart isn't reflected on the outside, and it's all because you've got to remove the fear of not being true to you. What is your true and your true desires? Okay, what's healthy? There's something really about habits and healthiness here that needs to be, I think someone knows needs to be addressed, but it's about being proactive in taking those decisions. If you fall back once and you just end up in this loop, no, if you do, just pause for a second, take those reins back, reel back in. Okay, and sometimes when you are coming back to a connection that is from like past that ended for whatever reasons, the transformation needs to take place individually. When you come back to it, it doesn't have to be like where you left off. You literally can say, you know what, let's start this new, let's start this fresh as who we are now, right? And it does come with the right conversations first, so you can build that grounds, that faith, safety of, trust. So that's where that forgiveness comes in, understanding whatever. Once you clear through that, yeah, that's the beauty of it. You can say, okay, let's do this new. Yeah, so it's not always just stuck. Okay. Let me know if this reading message was for you. Sending so much love.